Good afternoon, everyone. Friends from the media, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, Secretary Information Technology, Government of Telangana, thank you for being with us today. Mr. Parthasarathi, Secretary Agriculture and Cooperation Department, Government of Telangana, thank you for being with us. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you would feel deeply moved listening to Dr. Pia Sarkar speak. On behalf of TeachAIDS and Dr. Pia, thank you for being here with us. Today is a very, very special day. It's the culmination and the conclusion of a 6-year journey. I wear many hats, and today I'm wearing the hat of Trustee TeachAIDS India Trust. As you just heard, I met Pia Sarkar and became part of TeachAIDS since 2009, when we found that valuable HIV education material was not available for us school children. Nagarjuna and myself, some of you may know, had been advocating understanding. I'll give you Telugu bites, audio bites, yeah? Later. So Nagarjuna and myself had been part of the HIV awareness drive along with the government agencies, AP SACS, Telangana SACS, in bringing understanding about HIV to the people of the Telugu speaking states. And so when children with HIV were expelled from schools in 2009, we had been part of a public debate where many members of the media, maybe some of you here present here would also have been part of the debate, to bring a better understanding to school managements and parents and teachers that it was perfectly fine for their children to study with HIV positive kids. In fact, it was very essential that they learn to grow up in a world with HIV. And so it was God sent when Dr. Pia Sarkar came with her module and requested Nagarjuna to give his voice. At that time, we found that sadly the only time people found out that they had HIV was when they were going for their tests during the pregnancy test. And so this material, when Nimmagadda Foundation funded the pilot project and Dr. Pia Sarkar prepared the Telugu version, it was released in 2011 end. That was also World AIDS Day. It was released. And AP SACS, Telangana SACS widely distributed it to schools, government schools, from where children grew up. Children accessed the knowledge to empower themselves so that they wouldn't have that rude shock during their pregnancy test to find out whether they were HIV positive or not. So students today who have access to the internet and to, say, private education or education which has online access, they may be more informed. But what about children who don't, who can't afford to go to the schools that have this kind of access? These children benefit greatly from the TeachAIDS materials being distributed by the government agencies. So Dr. Pia Sarkar has, as you have seen, has very painstakingly researched the material. Just a celebrity giving the information is not enough. If it was an educator giving the information, very often we found, and even till date we find, if a teacher is talking about it, they tend to put their own interpretation, they tend to add their own dogmas, their own morality, and therefore they close the doors to valued science-based fact and knowledge which the children can access through TeachAIDS material. So TeachAIDS has eliminated that process of coloring the material available. Every single person who has been part of this project, be it the government agencies, be it the NGOs, be it the animators, our donors, our celebrities, members of the media, everybody has come forward understanding the value of what we are doing today. No child in the world, let alone in India, no child in the world needs to grow up and get infected with HIV and lose their immunity systems out of a lack of knowledge. They deserve to be empowered with this basic life skill of understanding how to protect themselves from HIV and how to grow up in a world with HIV. It doesn't matter what cutting edge treatment is available, and it doesn't matter whether there's a cure or not. Nobody needs to get infected with this virus. And it is with this intention that the material is now available for free. I'm so grateful to every single person who has come forward and helped TeachAIDS. I'm grateful to Pia for taking so many years of her life to research and provide this material. And today that it's out in the open and it's available for free, I request each and every one of you here today to access this information and circulate it as wide as you can hereafter, not just for World AIDS Day, but so that every young person in India grows up with access to understanding how to protect themselves from HIV. To conclude, I'd like to show you a video. This video clip was made by Think Plus, and it's a group of children in a government school here at Madhapur watching the Telugu material, and you can see the excitement, you can see the realization. Some of those young ladies in 9th and 10th standard stood up and said, "Oh, nobody told us!" Because there's a taboo of talking about sexual activity or anything to do with adult actions. There's a taboo to talk about it, and children can't talk about it with their parents. So they stood up and they said, "Oh, nobody told us! Thank you so much for telling us." And hereafter, they said they would be sure that when they go, before they get married, they're going to take their grooms, their future husbands, and together they would get tested and they would ensure that they would protect themselves from HIV. It's truly inspiring, and I want to thank Pia for making sure this is available for every child in India. On that note, please see for yourself what we experienced and what is happening and what can happen thanks to TeachAIDS.